They are the defending champs. They haven't lost a game. They are third overall. So what is the College Football Playoff Committee saying to Dabo Swinney? That he's obviously balling up and he's using it about nobody believes in us. But what is the message here, do you think?
You play in a league that was really down this year. I don't think it was no fault of their own. They played 2 SEC teams in their non-conference, so I think credit to Clemson for scheduling them. It's not their fault. The ACC is way down this year. The ACC, Florida State had a coaching change. Miami had a coaching change last year. Virginia Tech was inconsistent. I think you look at some of these other teams. Virginia had a nice year, but there was nobody really that was a legitimate top 15 team or even close to that around them. And so if you want to ding Clemson for anything, you almost lost to a North Carolina team that was barely bowl eligible. But after that, I mean, they were crushing everybody else. So I think Clemson knows, and Dabo can say, hey, say what he's going to say. I mean, at the end of the day, if they handle their business against Ohio State, it doesn't matter where you are, 1, 2, or 3, or 4. I think they're as dangerous a team as there is because they have so much firepower, and Trevor Lawrence has done it on a big stage. These other guys have done it. They haven't done it on the grand stage, and he did it against Alabama where, to me, it's almost like, Mike Tyson was beaten more than once, but it was when Buster Douglas knocked him out that it was like, whoa. And that's what it felt like with Clemson because they just blew them off the field. It wasn't even close. So I think everybody has, like Dabo, but I think everybody has, if you don't respect Clemson, you're kidding yourself. I mean, we'll see what happens against Ohio State. I think that's going to be a great matchup. This will be as good a semifinal game as I think we've had in the playoff era.
And what are the chances that LSU makes it, Alabama doesn't, but it's Jalen Hurts that beats them anyway? How remarkable would that be that Jalen Hurts?
He's 3-0 against LSU so far now.
That's what I mean. And if again, I know that they're in the committee, they're not supposed to match teams up with storylines and levels of interest. But to me, the fact that Alabama's former quarterback, who doesn't get a shot in Alabama anymore because of Tua, goes to Oklahoma and is the one that shows up and takes on LSU in the first round, I think that is just a chef's kiss, delicious meal that's possible.
I'm guessing nobody probably appreciates that more than the quarterback in Norman, Oklahoma. I mean, we did 4 of his games this year at Fox, and I remember talking to him before, maybe before they played Iowa State late in the year. And at one point he said to me, this is a couple of days before the game, he was talking about just being new, whereas Kyler Murray and Baker, who both obviously won Heisman's, they'd been there 3 years and had a chance to get to know everybody. He didn't. And he talked about changing the culture there. And I said, oh, 2 guys just won a Heisman's. It's not like you just took over Kansas football. And he goes, listen, I've been to 3 national titles in a row. Yeah. So, and we're just hung there. And so he has a really high standard. It's right below the surface with him. He's not lacking for confidence. And we'll see. Their defense got better as the year went on. It is definitely not what the other 3 teams have, but they do have, talking to NFL scouts, Kenneth Murray, he will be a first-round pick. He's in the middle of their defense. Right. Neville Gallimore's a big-time guy. It's those other guys in the secondary. The secondary is a big concern. They do not have the kind of personnel that you want to see from a playoff team in the secondary, at least, and that's what Joe Burrow is going to be attacking. So if Oklahoma's going to win that game, it may have to be a 55-51 kind of game. And
that Georgia can't beat LSU, can't get into the college football playoff because of that, but Justin Fields does. And he has the opportunity to knock off Clemson or maybe then also knock off LSU. I mean, that is another delicious sort of narrative.
Yeah, there's a lot of vengeance I'm seeing coming from your desk right
now. I'm trying to just.
There are good subplots, no doubt, right. And I think what you have there too. Also, by the way, our friend Trent Dilfer, must have been like 3 years ago. I remember going to his Elite 11, right. And the 2 most talented quarterbacks, and I think Trent probably has said this to you before, the 2 most talented quarterbacks I think he's ever had come through there are the guys who are matching up in that bowl game. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, both Georgia guys, by the way, both from the state. They're not from far away. Both big, really athletic kids with terrific arms. Trent will probably tell you, I think he thought Justin might have been even more talented than Trevor, at least back then. I don't know where people view it now, but that shows you, the the talent we have with these quarterbacks in this Final Four.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.